Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It is me, Dukect, back once again. How are you doing on this Wednesday evening? And the thing is, I have to say about this, this subject is that because again, a lot of people are going to be upset about this. A lot of people who are frustrated and angry about how this whole situation happened at TLC, the main event, the women's tag team champions, the Kabuki Warriors, and the that's the Kabuki Warriors, and just what happened during that match. And I have to say, this the match, I have to say, was clumsy. It was clumsy. It was completely just out of sync in most places, and it's a shame because I think Asuka, Kairi, and Becky and Charlotte are great wrestlers. They're one of the best in WWE right now. In fact, I would say probably one of the best in the world. There's no, that's just, to me, just factual at that point. They're just that good. But what happened during that match? Well, I have to say, I feel just, for me, it was just, wow. I mean, the match itself was clumsy and just really, what happened, and just, you look at during the match, Kairi Sane was injured during the match. She looked to be seen as a concussion, and it looked like she had a concussion, and after this, supposedly the exploder right. This is let me just see if I can find. Let's see. Oh, the tweet right there. It's like, oh, right there. Oh yeah. You look at she just landed right on that concrete, right in the. Okay, that looks terrible. That looks really bad. I'll put the link in the description of what just the way WE and everything else would probably cut down this video, and I don't want to have that. No. Even though I go on BitChute and such, I don't want to risk that, because YouTube is, I like to have my YouTube channel. I like the YouTube channel, for what it is. But yeah, but that gets back to the point. Let me get back to the point of this whole discussion. Is just, I look at that. It was just, it was just a, you look at this, it's just like she was, just all around. It was just really bad, and everything just, and a lot of people, when I watch this match, are going to put the thing of Charlotte, and trust me, there's some stuff that put Charlotte in the blame. And we look, some say, she's reckless, she's this, that, the other. Like, this was, again, this stuff happens. This wrestling, this stuff happens, and I think the reason why it chalks up to one of the main issues of what's going on in not only WWE, but also just in the wrestling genre itself. It's that they're all going too hard out there. Most of these wrestlers are going holy crap, they are going to just ways to go like more and more. We need to make things more epic and everything. And I get that. It's the main event. You want to show that you belong here. You want to show that this whole women's division, this whole women's division was not a fad, or it wasn't a complete and total. Just like, oh, it's a PR stunt. They're going to go right back to Divas matches and 2-minute matches and no one's going to care. No, I get what they're doing. I get that. You want to go out there and be as the best performers out there. And that's what it is. And it's, and it's this entire everything around the entire. They keep going all hard on the rest, like going so hard out there, and it's not just for the ladies. I see the guys go out there too, and they go like for mid card, like they want to show out and like, okay, they're great, but I worry about like years from now, they're like, man, I can't move, I can't go out, I can't even walk because of these the wrestlers, all the pain and all the suffering and such. I won't be surprised in 2 or 3 years you're gonna see a mass number of retirements, a mass amount of retirements because of this hard style. I will not be surprised in 3 years from now, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Kairi Sane, and Asuka will retire in 3 years. I mean, I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but I'm just saying, would anyone be surprised when you look at what's going on and seeing how these wrestlers just completely, and I mean just completely go into these, like, just tossing themselves, like doing all this other stuff when they don't need to, like dives and all these like shots and continue to go these shots and oh gosh, it's, and doing this in a declining audience and a declining fan base, and performing all of this stuff for for the that sort of thing. And I hate that. I hate the fact that wrestling, it seems the more harder and strong style it gets, it seems like it pushes people away. And and by the way, there's Stephanie Rosario, the Twitter stuff here. And I'll put this right here on. You will see the links here to it. It's that they said Becky Lynch talked to the ref. She said, okay, something's going on. She tossed to Kairi, tossed to her, tried. Asuka attacks Charlotte Flair. Then Becky talks to Charlotte. This is a danger. They do appreciate it. It's spearing the problem. You can tell something's wrong. Kairi still gets up and does the spot with Asuka and the ladder, but Becky barely hits her. Becky hits her chair knowing something is wrong. Becky checks on Kairi again and again. Becky says something to Charlotte amidst the top rope spot, and I'm sure the match, as Becky calls an audible in the Asuka. These women give so many shits, but someone's health comes first, and comes first, and Becky makes sure Kairi stay out of the rest of the match and ended. This was a great match. Someone got injured. They put their bodies on the line. You don't want to shit on them because it wasn't 100% for you. Then stop watching. I'm like, yeah, okay, fine. But I get this. I do. But it just, again, you look at some of these some of the wrestlers go so hard sometimes. They went to, and again, I'm not saying, oh, you want the weak. No, I know. I see a lot of guys. Like I saw this in just the tag match, which was fun. But I saw Kazarian do one the Young Bucks. I don't know if it's they had like a tornado, a tornado DDT on the apron. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, hopefully he didn't get all of that his head there, but you see all that stuff. I'm like, wow, what is going on here? And trust me, that's the probably, you see all this, like, it's just the height and everything else. It keeps going and going to a point you're just like, maybe, when are you going to draw it back? Because eventually, you can't chase that high anymore. You're going to be like, it's getting way too, it gets to that high point and everything. They need to do something else. You need everything else to slow down. Everyone needs to do one thing, slow it down. What happened to just like pacing yourself? You don't need to go 500 miles per hour in every match. And because if you do go at 500 miles per hour match, every match becomes derivative and the same. It doesn't matter how many high spots you do. People just think, it's a high spot. Who cares? Remember when people thought suicide dives were amazing? Now everyone does them. Everyone does a suicide dive. Everybody does a suicide dive. It's not impressive. Tall guys, short guys, medium guys, big guys, small guys. Everybody does it. It doesn't mean they're super athletic. Maybe they are, but if you see it out every show, it means nothing. It just dilutes it to a point of, it just becomes like a regular move. It becomes like, at this point, a hip toss. It becomes like it's so regular of a move. I wish that we just had, the wrestling needs to just slow it down and go back and say that sort of thing. That's what they need to do. Not just for the ladies, but also for the men. I keep saying this because I see that, I see it from, and most of the stuff I watch, I see a lot of them go hard, and it's not even for a championship or anything. It's just for a regular show. I'm like, y'all don't need to go this far. Y'all don't need to go this crazy. Slow it down a bit. You don't need to make every match 20 or 30 minutes to some epic, oh my gosh, this is the greatest fight or match every time. You don't need to do that. Sometimes it's best to just hold that stuff off into the main shows, the big shows. Make people like, wow, this was great. Don't, I'm not saying don't be great every night or whatever, but I'm like, you have to tone it down a bit. Tone it down just a bit so you can, make sure like, hey, you know what? Maybe you don't need to actually be, oh my gosh, we need to have this huge, big, epic match and such. Because if the epic match becomes the norm, it's just like, it doesn't become epic. It just becomes, it's just another match. Oh, this is just another match. Who cares? It's, I don't care. I know it just becomes just a regular match over and over. It doesn't do anything. You can have, I don't care. I don't care how many times people say this. Oh, it's no. It's still going to be it's still, if it's, it doesn't matter if you have, oh my gosh, this is like, you could say we're trying to go for epic matches and such every night. But once you go that route and, convince me otherwise, it just becomes, the epic match becomes the same. It becomes the norm. And that's how mediocrity forms. That's how it forms up. That's how everything forms out, man. That's how it forms up. That's what it is, man. And I hate that. And I just, I don't like seeing that, the wrestlers who have to go so hard. They have to go so hard. In these matches, and it just doesn't mean much. I hate the fact that they put so much pressure, they put so much love and love and care and just action. Because again, I talk about this stuff here. Is these four women they tried to put on one hell of a main event. They tried to put everything, and there were good spots in that match. But I think they tried so much, and they tried to reach for that brass ring, and and it didn't work. And I'm like, I'd be fine with that. But it seems every other time they have one, especially if Charlotte is involved, she goes a little too crazy. I think they need to do they need to slow this down. They need to slow this down. And I truly believe this, that it reminds me, people want to crap on Miz and Bray Wyatt's match. I'll say this, at least it wasn't as dangerous as what it's still a level of danger, but I liked, again, the Miz and Bray Wyatt match. People like Bryan Alvarez and all of them crapped on it. I don't care. I thought that match was good. You know why? Because it actually had character-driven action. And it didn't need to have 500 chair shots. It didn't need to have red lights. It didn't need to have all this crap around it. You know? It didn't need to have all this stuff here to actually have attention and building the matches and such. You know? They don't need to go hard in the paint. And that's what it is. They already, the fans bought them. They are great. These 4 women are great. But they need to stop going out. They need to slow it down. And I fear that this is going to get worse before it gets better. I fear that this is going to get worse because you know there's going to be another one of these matches, these no disqualification matches, and they're going to do something. You're going to be like, maybe we need to just, they're going to, it's going to take, like maybe they're not going to get that until something really bad happens. I'm talking someone's career might end until they're going to say, okay, we might have to slow this shit down. All right? But yeah. And I hope Kairi takes as long as the rest as possible. I know she's not cleared. I think that she should take a long rest possible and have a whole, just come back 100%. But then that's another issue entirely, that wrestlers can't take time off because knowing what they want, they don't want to be as injury prone. And that means that, well, if you're injury prone, we can't give you any opportunities to put you in there. They're not going to put invest time in you. They're not going to put anything else. You're momentum, so you might. Okay, I'll get my push. That means I get more money. I get more chances to get my stuff out there. I'll go up and work hurt for a while, and those injuries start to pile up to a point that your body can't do anything anymore, and you have to leave either after your push or whatever. Even then, you're like, well, I'm still around that main event. I could just still just sit there and just relax. I'm just coast on here and I'll be fine. Bam, you're injured. It hurts worse. You have to take a longer time out because you have this like, oh crap, they're scared of losing their spot. That's the thing, and that's a fear, and you don't know what to do. What are you going to do to bring people back into it? And that's something, again, that's a conversation that, I've talked about before on this channel. I talked about this on the show, and I talked about this since pretty much about YouTube. Like, wrestlers need time off. Wrestlers need to step it back. And personally, again, I blame all this on the Ring of Honor. This wrestlers going all hard. This goes right to the indies, and especially Ring of Honor. I like this crap. Charlotte and all they try and do everything else, but they're inspired by the stuff like happening in Ring of Honor back in the day and everything else. I blame that type of that hard style and such. I blame that style. This whole epic. Everything needs to be epic style on that, and you don't need everything to be epic. Sometimes it's just like, hey, you know what? If it's just okay matches, then that's it. Then it's fine. I'm just, that's what it is to me. And if I'm wrong, go right ahead. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I am done. And don't worry, boys and girls, there will be a special Dukect Lounge next week, Saturday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to be looking at the best and worst of 2019. And I know it's going to be a special 2 hours. Yes, we're going to be going for the 2-hour mark because I think there's a lot of stuff we can talk about, a lot of stuff we can get into. So, yeah, on Saturday 28th, with special Dukect Lounge, it's going to be live on TalkShoe, and I hope you will be there. Thank you very much. It's Dukect here. Peace, love, see y'all when I see y'all later.